Now you have a sweep, you have a break of structure, but there's no structural liquidity. So what's going to happen is that market is going to take out the protected high, yeah, and use it as a structural liquidity, right? Which can be basically the inducement. So market is going to take out this high. Remember that this high is the high, right? After the sweep and break. Now this is not a protected high. Why is this not a protected high? Because there's no structural liquidity. A structural liquidity created, then this is what you call a protected high, because this high is protected by what? This structural liquidity, right? Which means that structural liquidity is going to protect this high, which means that once price sweeps out these price points, right, then you have something like this. But now there's no structural liquidity, meaning that there's no protected high. So what's going to happen is the market is going to use this guy as structural liquidity, right? Then go to the downside. Then you now have your, your normal continuation, like your sweep, break, and then your inducements, whatever, right? That's how it works basically. If there's no structural liquidity, then the high is going to be as protected. So now what and how do you apply that to the chart, right? So now yesterday on V10S, when I was analyzing the market, now let me clear the charts, let me remove drawings. And yesterday I'll tell you why I had a sell bias, right? But I was not able to get an entry on this guy. I'm still waiting for an entry on this guy, right? So now this is the V10S on the 1 hour time frame. Yeah, this is V10S. So let's do 30 minutes, right? So just make it make sense, right? What do you see right here? Sweep of this high, break of market structure. There's no structural liquidity. So what the market did? The market took out this high as our structural liquidity, which means that anything that wants to happen right now, price when it comes to this low, right? So now remember I said always try and get a bias, right? Don't just enter at any point. Don't enter any point. Just try and get a bias first, right? That bias can come from the daily, can come from the 4 hour time frame, it can come from the 1 hour time frame, can come from the 30 minutes time frame. So now no structural liquidity. I dropped this in the tips or in the group, right? I don't know if you guys see the section tips, right? So a sweep of this high break, there's no structural liquidity. So market took out this high. So yesterday I was looking at a sell. I was looking out for sales. Why am I looking out for sales? Because this is correct. If this is correct, then speed and market is going to come to this low, right? Remember, this is not our traditional sweep break structural liquidity. This one is there's no structural liquidity, so market is going to use this high and sell to the downside as structural liquidity, right? So when I saw this, I went down to my lower time frame. This was yesterday, so I was basically looking out for sell entry. So you can see that once price took out this guy, he started selling. So I was looking out for sales right yesterday. So what did I see yesterday? Now this was looking like a sell, but I didn't take it. Why didn't I take this sell? Because this guy did not sweep this high. There's no sweep here, right? Someone might have come now and just do something like and say, okay, they will draw something like this and say this. No, there's no sweep here. This guy looked like a very good trade, right? But I didn't take it because of what? He did not follow my rules, which is basically what? The sweep, break, structural liquidity, right? So there was no sweep here. So I didn't take the trade, right? So what am I looking out for? I'm looking out if market comes back about this structural liquidity right here, right? There's a kind of type 2 setup here, right? And why is it type 2? You can have your A, B, C, D. Please, who is that? Mute your mic, please. Now, we have something like this, right? So this is like a type 2 kind of setup, meaning that if price comes to this high, right, I'm going to be looking to sell around this zone. Please, who is that? Please don't. Let me check who this is now. Come on. Now, yes. So now, meaning that if price comes here, I want to look for a sell. Remember I said always let price tell a story. You can see how we're able to analyze this guy and try and get a sell for this entry, right? I didn't just come into the chart and just start drawing anything. I tried to let price tell a story and I got this, right? Meaning that if I'm looking for sell setups on the lower time frame on V10S, right? Following this principle, right? If you can have all your principles in place, remember I said your type 1, type 2, but for this one, what I used here was no structural liquidity concept, right? This is part of the advanced market structure concepts, right? Which is basically after the sweep and after the break of structure, you notice that there's no structural liquidity, right? No structural liquidity. So what's going to happen is the market is going to take out the high and use as structural liquidity. It's going to take out this high, then go to the downside. For instance, let's say there was a structural liquidity here, right? This structural liquidity is going to protect this high. That's why it's called your protected high. Because of what? It's being protected by what? This structural liquidity here. Here. But for in a case, if there's no structural liquidity, then there's nothing protecting this high. The market is going to what? Use this high as what? As structural liquidity, which is going to happen like this, right? Something like this is going to happen, then go to the downside, right? Which is why I got from my analysis on the 30 minutes time frame, I saw the sweep, right? Please, who are these guys now? Who are these guys? Please, reach your mics, please. Which is why I saw the sweep of this high break, no structural liquidity. Market took out the high, which means I'm anticipating market is going to come here. Which means that I'm having like a kind of sell bias right now. Which means that what? I'm only going to be taking what? Sales only. Sales only, right? Remember, there's an entry. I was waiting for an entry yesterday. I wasn't able to get an entry. This right here is a sweep of this high, but this guy is not. I don't like come like, but look at this now. This high was not swept. This high was not swept. This is why I didn't take this sell here, right? It might look good, right? Some people might say, okay, they want to sell, but I'm going to stick to my rules. Look at this high right here, was not swept, right? This was just like a price coming up here. This high was not swept right here. I can't take this guy as a sweep. Why? Because the structural liquidity is above the sweep, right? Remember the SBI, the sweep break, the inducement has to be what? Inside the sweep and break, right? But something like this is not valid. Okay, something like this to me is not valid. And this is where I would have been looking for a valid sweep, but I didn't get that sweep, right? So this is a sweep break type 2 here, which meaning that if price comes here, then I'll look to sell. Very simple bias right now on this guy. Now let's go to V25. Was it V25S? Let's go to V25S. So I want to show you how you can just basically do your TDA, total analysis, quick and simple on V25S. So now, last week, I think you'd have taken about 3 A plus setups, right? 3 A plus setups. That's if you're following the right thing, right? You'd have taken about 3 A plus setups. Why? There's a sweep of this high, break of structure, and there's a type 1, right? Type 1 setup here. Remember I said it's not a must. It's not a must that market should do what? The market should tap the market should tap your POI. Your POI is just basically for refinements, right? It's just basically for refinement. Let's say you have a POI, something like this now. There's no more that market taps your POI. POI is just for refinement. I tell you that once market takes out your C, market can just expand immediately, right? So once it takes out your C, you can just start selling. So now I have a sweep break. Market took out this guy and started selling, right? Meaning that what? We're expecting price to come out to this low here, right? To this ERL. Remember the advanced market structure, internal liquidity to external liquidity. We're trying to what? Get a bias, right? And our bias starts from the higher time frame, basically 24H, 8 hour, 4 hour, right? So now this is the V25S on the daily time frame, meaning that on the lower time frame, let me use the 5 minutes for instance, right? I want to be taking sell entries till this low is taken out. This line that I drew right here is taken out. Now look at what happened. Let's say that once market took out this guy, once market took out the structural liquidity, it sold to this low. Let me go back to this chart. It sold out to this back to this low. Meaning that you'd have been looking for what? Multiple sell entries. Okay, multiple sell entries. And now you see that if you look at this chart, you're about 2-3 entries, right? On just this pair alone. Right? So what do you see here? I have a sweep of this high, break of market structure. What the market do after it broke structure to the downside? Remember that we basically have some sort of sell bias, right? From our analysis on the HTF, meaning that I want to only take sell trades. No buy trade is going to hold, right? Now look at this guy. This is the first sell, right? This is the first sell on this guy. So you can hold this guy, right? You can sell to this low, right? But basically, because you understand that market is going to that low, you can decide to hold down to this low because you understand where market is going to. You can decide to hold. Look at how price still kept on dropping. You can decide to hold to this low. But if you want to hold to this low, it's fine, right? It's fine. Then sweep break. Market missed this. This kind there's an entry here, right? So market missed out on this structural liquidity, right here. But I'm still looking for sales. Why am I looking for sales? Because I know where the market is going to, right? I know where this market is going to. So I want to only trade in the direction of the market. This thing is just very simple. It's just basically identifying where market is coming from and where market is going. right? So now let's keep on looking. We'll just be on the charts looking for sell entries. That's how you keep it simple. Don't just be drawing anything on your chart, confusing yourself, right? Just keep it simple and let it make sense, right? Which means that I'm still going to be on this chart. And when I'm on this chart, what am I going to be looking for? Sell entries. Sell entries only, right? Sell entries only. Now let's check this chart and see if we can get any sales. Let's check and see. I can get a nice sell trade. I can see a sweep break, structural liquidity. Let's check. So you can see the market just kept on selling, right? Which means that if you're following this bias, at least you should have 2, 3, you can even have 5 setups, right? But just sticking to this bias. Now, you notice that someone that doesn't understand what's happening right now can just see something like this now. Someone that doesn't understand what's happening will get into these charts, then see something like this, right? See sweep, break, and like a type 1, right? Let's say someone that doesn't understand what's happening will see something like this now, right? Your setup is not going to hold. You're going to just get stopped out, right? It's not going to hold. What is only going to hold is what? Your bias, right? You have a sell bias, which means that you want to only take sell trades. I don't care if the trade looks very nice, right? It can look very sweet, it can look very nice, but I don't really care. What I want to just only do is take what? Sell setups only. Because of what? I have a sell bias, right? Let's see if we can get one more sell. Nah, I don't think there's any more sell, right? But you see that price just kept on selling till it smashed out this guy. So now before you enter, once you enter the chart, the first thing, right, you should understand is where, right? Just first of all, before when you enter the chart, where's price coming from? The second one is what? Where's price heading? Meaning if you enter the chart, let's say for instance, let me use 1 hour for instance, right? Meaning if you enter the chart now, let's say what? Let me use current price action for instance, right? Now, meaning that if you enter the chart, now you can see that what market was moving up, then it just started dropping. Then if you see that market is dropping now, you want to understand, okay, did something cause this sell here, right? Because this is where this sell started coming from. Now you want to understand, okay, if something caused this sell here, that means that market is going to come to what? This low. For instance, if something, you see this sell happening and you see something like this here, right? Something like this here, right? Then you now understand that, okay, now this is what is causing this sell, meaning that, okay, I now understand where this market is going to, right? I know that this market is going to come here. So I'm just going to what? Be patient and trade only my setups, right? Meaning that I don't care what buy setups. You know that if you just stick to that principle, right, your trades at some point you start getting cleaner and getting easier day by day, right? Because you're just going to set time for taking those trades only. Your chart analysis is going to get cleaner and simpler. You're not going to have issues, with drawing end lines up and down on the charts, right? Up and down anyhow. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So you can see how I was just quickly able to analyze what happened now. Let's go to another pair. Let's check V75. Let's check V75. Let's clear these charts. So this is V75 on the daily time frame. Now price is looking very choppy, right? So this is why you don't just confuse yourself. Let's check what's happening. Let's see. Now this is the daily time frame on V75, right? V75 index. Now let's see if we can get something that will give us some kind of bias. Now let's go down the 4-hour time frame. I think I saw something which was about which was last week or so, right? So now what do I see here, right? So now this is the 4-hour time frame. So you want to mark up those reactive spots in the market that market can react from, right? So now what do we see right here? This is a high, right? This high was set by this high. This is a sweep of this high. This sweep it. Let's check, right? Okay. Yeah, price swept of this high, broke market structure. Then after the break of market structure, what do you see? There's a type 2 setup here, right? Type 2 setup there. Meaning that if price comes to this guy, right, takes out this low and starts selling off, then you can see that, okay, now we have a sell bias. because market is reacting from what? This sell POI here, right? For instance, we saw that what market started buying from this low, right? Market started buying from this low on the daily time frame, meaning that if we had something here, for instance, right? If we had some kind of entry or some kind of SBI here, let's say this is our structural liquidity here, we now say, okay, market started buying from this low, which means that what? This guy is the target. Why is this guy the target here? Right? Why is this guy the target? Because let's say, for instance, we have the SBI here. This is the highest point that took out this low, and this is our external liquidity, right? Which means I'm going to be taking buys to this high is taking out. So you just have to, first of all, understand turning points in the market. Once you can get the turning points in the market on the higher time frame, then you want to what? Move your analysis then to lower time frame for execution, right? HTF execution, HTF analysis, LTF execution. That's how it should be, right? And now on V75, right? What do you see? I can see this high, right? I can see this high, which was swept, right? This is a sweep of this high, break of market structure. And what do you see right here? There's some kind of type 2 setup here. Meaning that if price comes to this low and starts selling, we can have some kind of sell bias, right? That's how it works. You have to, first of all, get a bias first. You don't just trade from any zone. You don't just trade anyhow. You can see that last 2 weeks, we're having biases up and down. First of all, we had a bias on V75, which was a buy bias because market was buying from somewhere and we're able to get a buy inside, right? So just basically understanding turning points in the market. Once you can get turning points in the market, then trading will get easier for you because all you just need to do is what? Wait for your what? LTF, right? Basically your LTF entry, right? It's going to get easier with time. It's going to get easier with time. Now let's check another pair. Just basically understanding turning points, right? And that's what I do every single day. Let's check this on 5S. I think I did an analysis on this guy. I don't think there's anything on this on 5S. But I think I did an analysis here. I don't think I have anything here. Let's check the 50. Let's check the 50. Someone asked a question. Yes, turning points. Just basically, that's how I want to make it sound now, because some people usually get confused when they talk about directional bias. It's basically about getting turning points in the market. Once you can get a turning point, and that turning point is in respect to what? An SBI, right? Those two things aligning, then you just have a gold. This is what you call A plus entry, right? Zero drawdown, A plus entry. That's how it works, right? This gold, right? So now let's check. Now let's check this guy. Let's check this step. Let's check this guy. I want to check something. Right? So you can see that this bias on the step 500, right? That I analyzed last week. Remember, I said I'm still anticipating what? Price coming to this high. Very simple. Why am I anticipating price coming to this high? What do I see right here? Sweep, break, type 2 structural liquidity, meaning that what price is going to come here, which means that on the LTF, which are lower time frame, I want to trade in the direction of this guy. Now let's go down to the lower time frame and see what is happening. I've not checked this guy. I didn't check this guy I checked this guy. Did I check this guy this week? Now let's see what's happening here. Let's see if we can get an entry, right? Let's check what's happening here. Remember, I just want to be active for what? I want to be active for buy setups, right? Buy setup basically because of what? I have a bias for buys, right? Let's check. There's no setup currently. No setup currently. Now let's
No, there is one. You just passed one now. I wish you can go back. You just passed. There's one I saw now.
Where?
How can I show you now?
Sorry, you saw the setup where?
Yes, this place like this. If you can zoom it closer, you see it. Okay. Do you see this sweep here?
This slope?
Where is it? Where is it again? Where is it again? No, go back a bit. Go back a bit. Shift. Just shift back a bit.
We'll come back to this guy. We'll come back to this guy. Don't worry, we'll come back to this guy.
This is it.
This slope.
No, before then, you see this. No. You're going too back. This. How can I point it for you now?
Annotate on the screen.
No, yeah, great.
Annotate on the screen. Let me see.
Okay. How do I do that? I've not done this before. Um,
Or you can just send it as an
let's.
email to the group, anyone, because we don't have time.
All right. This step in this 500. I'll maybe drop it down in the group.
Yes. So now let's check. Let's just do an analysis on all pairs. Let's do an analysis. Let's do a quick rundown on all pairs. Pairs, right? So now let's do a quick down analysis on all pairs. Let's see what's happening and what can we expect this week. Right. So just want to do analysis on all of them, all the pairs, all the pairs. What is wrong with this internet? Yeah, okay. Now let's start from V50. We'll start, we'll just go from V50 downwards, from V50 downwards, right? So daily time frame, let's see what we have on V50. Nothing on the daily time frame. 4 hour time frame, let's check. Yeah, 4 hour time frame. Nothing on the 4 hour time frame. Let's check the 1 hour time frame. So just first of all, identify turning points in the market, right? If you're able to get the turning points in the market, right, and is in line with what the SBI, right? If you're able to get the turning, sorry. This stuff disconnected for some reason. So now, if you are able to get the turning points in the market, then you'll be able to do what? Please, are you guys following? Are you guys following, please? Now, if you're able to get the turning points in the market, right? If you're able to get the turning points in the market, then it's going to get easier for you, right? It's going to get easier for you any day, anytime, right? Just let it make sense, right? Nothing on V50. What do I do? Go to another pair. Very simple. Let's check 100s. I don't think I've analyzed 100s. I don't think I've analyzed 100s. So my analysis is not that complicated, right? A lot of people think it's complicated. It's not complicated at all, right? It's not complicated. That's why I want to always let you guys know is don't feel that if you're analyzing, then you feel that, okay, you're not doing the right thing. It's not complicated at all, right? All you just need to do is what? Basically, I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me clearly? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Can hear
Okay.
you clearly.
Okay. All right. All right. So please give me a second. I'm trying to fix this stuff here. Okay, now, yes, now let's see what's happening. I'm about to prepare now. Don't worry, the recording will be available, please. It'll be available. Okay, I'm not going to be available by that time. That's why I will not be able to host it by that time. So now let's check what's happening. I don't know what is wrong with this. I don't know what's wrong with the um connection. For some reason, it's not. I don't know why this derivative is not loading, but just a little patience. A little patience. Then let's see. A little patience. Let's see what's happening. Yes. So now, all right. So now this is let's go back to V100s. Let's go back to V100s. What's wrong with this stuff? All right. Now that I want to analyze all the setups, then as well this is happening. All right, let's start from V250s. Now let's check 4 hour time frame. You can see we don't have anything on the daily, right? Let's check the 4 hour time frame. Okay, this is the 4 hour time frame. It's not too clear. It's not too clear on the 4 hour. Let's check the 1 hour. Let's check the 1 hour time frame. Right. So it's just basically more, it's a multi-time frame analysis stuff, right? Multi-time frame analysis just goes from daily 4 hour basically, right? From daily 4 hour, 1 hour, then you proceed lower. Nothing on 250S, right? Nothing on 250S. Let's go down to 100S. Okay. Now it
Right,
has
because
finally
I've
loaded.
I've sent the I've sent it on the group.
All
I
right,
tag
I'll
everyone.
check it out. I'll check it out. I'll check it out now. I just want to do a quick run through all pairs before do anything. Yeah. So what I want to also do as well is I want someone else to actually share what I want to do. I want to do a little bit different. I will pick someone from here to share their screen, right, and do a quick top-down analysis, right? So let's see how he or she analyzes, and let's see if everyone is following, right? Let's see if everyone is following. So I'll pick someone from here to just do a quick top-down analysis, right? So you can share your screen as well, so people can, you know, see as well what you're doing, right? So now let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so who wants to do a quick rundown? You can share your screen as well. Who wants to do a quick rundown? You can share your screen. Who wants to do a quick rundown from the people available right now? Let someone do a quick rundown. Let's all learn together, right? So just analyze, let's see, and we'll correct ourselves, right? So this is just basically an interactive session here. Let's see who wants to go. You can just
Um,
speak.
I'm 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 using my phone. I don't know, and I'm using MT5 to do my analysis. I don't know. How can I get my trading view as wide and clear as your own on my phone?
MT5. MT5. You know what? We're going to do another session again by 11 p.m. So we'll probably do that by then. I'm going to host another session by
All right,
11
thank
p.m.
you.
So probably because we have about 10 minutes in this
Okay, okay.
session, right? So, anyways, this session is going to be available. We have a new session again by 11 p.m. So you guys should stay active, right? So the session is about to end now. So I'll send the recording once it's done. All right. We'll send the recording once it's done. I hope you guys had a nice session. We'll see you in the next one.